What if a single mistake could shatter everything you've built over the years? When the illusion of a happy family becomes a chess game, where every move counts and the end game is inevitable. Behind the facade of a beautiful home lies a fracture growing into a chasm. A familiar life is just a mask for secrets, choices, and betrayals that surface when least expected. One evening, one truth, one step into the unknown. Discover how passion and ambition collide with family and where it leads, in a story filled with heartbreak, intrigue, and an unexpected triumph. My dear friend, be sure to subscribe to my channel if this is your first time here, and give your royal like to this video. The grandfather clock in the hallway echoed through the house, its chimes counting out 8 beats that reverberated in the stillness of the colonial-style home. Adam carefully dried the last dinner plate, his movements slow and deliberate, as his eyes wandered to the window. The October sky was an artist's palette, streaked with fiery oranges blending into soft purples, a stark contrast to the weight pressing on his chest. His attention shifted to Harper, his wife of 16 years, seated at the kitchen island. Her face, bathed in the pale glow of her phone, seemed more angular lately, a change she'd credited to her intensified workout routine. Harper's fingers danced across the screen with practiced ease, typing and erasing with a precision that betrayed her preoccupation. A faint, unfamiliar smile played on her lips, a smile that Adam realized he hadn't been the cause of in months. "Mom, did you hear me about the debate team?" Evelyn's voice broke the quiet. At 13, she'd perfected the art of casual tones masking deeper emotions. She sat straight-backed at the table, poking at the remnants of her chicken piccata, a dish that Harper used to rave about but now barely touched. "That's wonderful, sweetheart," Harper responded, her gaze fixed on her screen. The words landed hollow, more reflex than genuine interest. Stephen, their 10-year-old son, looked at his sister with a hint of empathy before trying his own luck. "Mom, I finished my solar system model. Mr. Parker says it could win the science fair." His tone brimmed with hope, seeking acknowledgement. "That's nice, honey," Harper murmured, not looking up as a soft notification tone drew her smile back. Adam placed the plate in the rack with a clatter, causing her to glance up briefly. "Is everything all right?" Adam's voice was calm, though the frustration underneath was hard to miss. Startled, Harper instinctively gripped her phone tighter before locking it and turning it face down. "Work stuff," she said briskly, smoothing down her skirt. "The Anderson account is a headache. Actually, I need to prepare for tomorrow. I'll be working late again." "That's the 3rd night this week," Adam muttered, more to himself than to her. Harper, already halfway to the stairs, froze momentarily. "That's what happens when you're aiming for partner," she replied with a taut smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. Crossing back to him, she gave a fleeting kiss on his cheek. "Don't wait up." As she ascended the stairs, the faint trail of her new, unfamiliar perfume lingered in her wake. Adam watched her go, noting how her phone stayed in her hand like a lifeline. "Dad?" Evelyn's soft voice drew his attention. "Is everything okay with you and Mom?" He turned to face his children, their expressions a blend of concern and sadness that mirrored his own unease. Stephen had stopped pretending to eat, and Evelyn's searching blue eyes, so much like her mother's, were filled with unspoken questions. "Mom's just really busy with work," Adam said, forcing a brightness into his voice that he didn't feel. "Big projects mean long hours." "She forgot about my debate competition," Evelyn whispered, her voice trembling. "It's on Thursday. She said she'd be there." "I'll be there," Adam assured her, pulling her into a hug. "Front row, big embarrassing dad smile and all." Evelyn buried her face in his shoulder, her tears warm against his shirt. "She used to help me practice," Evelyn said, her voice breaking. "Every night before a competition. Now she's always too tired or too busy." Stephen joined the hug, wrapping his small arms around both of them. "She missed my last 2 soccer games. She promised to help with my project too." Adam held his children tightly, the weight of Harper's absence hanging heavy in the room. He took a deep breath and mustered a smile. "Hey, how about we form a science squad? We'll help Stephen with his project, and Evelyn can practice her debate with us. Evelyn managed a weak smile. That's not fair. Stephen still thinks because I said so is a good argument. Do not, Stephen protested, his voice rising in mock indignation. Do too, Evelyn shot back, her grin widening. Do not times infinity, Adam chuckled, ruffling Stephen's hair. All right, let's clean up and meet in mission control, aka Stephen's room. Solar systems and debates await. The children brightened, their playful banter returning as they helped clear the table. Adam moved through the motions of cleaning, his thoughts elsewhere. He replayed countless moments, parent-teacher conferences attended alone, family movie nights where Harper's seat stayed empty, her late arrivals home smelling of wine and unfamiliarity. Upstairs, the shower roared to life. Adam imagined Harper emerging later, wearing one of her new outfits from shopping trips she never mentioned. She'd kiss the kids goodnight if they were still awake, promise vague tomorrows, and retreat to her phone until sleep claimed her. Dad? Stephen tugged at his sleeve. You're dripping water everywhere. Adam glanced down to see the counter wet where he'd been wiping the same spot absent-mindedly. Just making sure it's extra clean for the aliens, he quipped, eliciting a giggle from Stephen, though Evelyn's sharp gaze lingered on him. In Stephen's room, they worked together, painting styrofoam planets and discussing orbital paths. Evelyn rehearsed her debate arguments, the siblings occasionally sparring in playful mock debates. By the time Adam tucked them into bed, both were exhausted but smiling. Love you, Dad, Evelyn murmured, her voice soft as he kissed her forehead. Thanks for helping. Always, Adam replied, lingering at the doorway to take in how much she had grown. How many of these moments had Harper missed? Stephen was already asleep, clutching the stuffed astronaut Harper had gifted him last year, back when she was still fully present. The mobile above his bed turned slowly in the breeze, casting gentle shadows on the walls. When Adam entered the master bedroom, the room was dark, except for the pale blue glow of Harper's phone. She lay on her side, scrolling until she noticed his presence and locked the screen. The kids asleep? She asked, her voice detached as she set the phone on the nightstand. Yeah, Adam replied, changing into his sleep clothes with a keen awareness of the distance between them. Stephen's excited about his project, he said, testing the waters. He's putting a lot of work into it. That's good, Harper said absently as her phone buzzed again. She picked it up, her attention already elsewhere. Adam lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, the silence between them stretching into an unspoken chasm. Just before Harper quickly pulled her phone away, Adam caught a glimpse of the name on the screen. Grant. A sharp pang tightened his chest. Though he could only read the beginning of the message, the words were enough. Can't wait to see you. Harper muted her phone almost immediately, but the damage had been done. Turning away from Adam, Harper shifted her position, leaving him staring into the darkness. Sleep slipped further out of reach as a barrage of questions invaded his mind. Who was Grant? Why was Harper exchanging late-night messages with him? And why had she recently locked her phone with a password, something she had never felt the need to do before? The digital clock on the nightstand blinked mockingly as the hours dragged on. Harper's breathing eventually settled into the steady rhythm of sleep, but Adam remained wide awake. Memories and doubts swirled relentlessly. The unfamiliar perfume, the new wardrobe, the late nights, cryptic texts, missed family moments. Each event, insignificant on its own, began to form a troubling picture. Before dawn, the phone lit up again. This time, Harper didn't stir, but Adam's eyes caught the screen. The message sent a wave of nausea through him. Sweet dreams. Beautiful. Tomorrow can't come soon enough. The sender's name appeared again. Grant. By the time sunlight crept through the curtains, Adam hadn't slept a wink. At 6, he dragged himself out of bed and trudged through their morning routine. The smell of coffee and sizzling bacon coaxed Stephen and Evelyn downstairs, their groggy faces still marked by sleep. They slid onto the kitchen stools, and Evelyn glanced around. Is Mom already gone? She asked. Adam nodded as he set plates on the counter. Big day at the office, he said, though the words felt bitter on his tongue. Harper had left before sunrise, dressed in a sleek burgundy outfit Adam had never seen before. The dress looked expensive, probably costing more than their monthly grocery bill. "She's always gone," Stephen muttered through a mouthful of bacon. Adam ruffled his son's hair and offered a weak smile. "Don't talk with your mouth full, and don't forget, you have soccer practice after school." "Are you picking us up?" Evelyn asked, her voice tinged with worry. Adam forced himself to sound cheerful. "Always. And I'll bring snacks for the debate team, too." After dropping the kids off, Adam sat in his car, unable to focus on work. Instead, he stared at his phone, the urge to search for answers consuming him. With a deep breath, he typed into the browser, "Signs your spouse is cheating." The results hit him like a punch. Emotional distance, changes in appearance, secrecy with the phone, late nights, new clothes, a defensive attitude. Each description seemed to echo Harper's recent behavior. Back home, Adam opened his laptop and created a folder titled Evidence. He started a timeline, documenting every suspicious event. August 16th. Began evening gym sessions 3 times a week. August 28th. Noticed a new perfume. September 3rd. Changed phone password. September 10th. Missed Evelyn's school orientation. September 17th. First late night at the office. September 24th. Returned from shopping with no visible purchases. October 1st. Missed Stephen's soccer game. October 5th. Discovered first text from Grant. October 8th. Skipped family movie night. October 12th. Another late night. October 16th. Westbrook Hotel. Charge on credit card. October 18th. Can't wait to see you text from Grant. Each entry deepened the sinking feeling in his gut. Before he could add more, a knock on the door startled him. He quickly minimized the document. "Come in," he said, his voice strained. Lane, their housekeeper of several years, stepped in, holding a crumpled receipt. "I found this in Miss Harper's jacket while doing laundry," she said hesitantly. Adam took the paper with trembling hands. It was from the Westbrook Hotel bar, dated last Thursday. 2 glasses of wine, appetizers, and a room charge were listed. "Late night at the office," she had said. Lane shifted awkwardly. "I thought you should know. Miss Harper's been different lately. There have been calls when she thinks no one's home. Always the same man's voice. They laugh a lot." Her voice lowered. "I've seen this before, Mr. Adam. My last employer's wife was having an affair. It tore their family apart." Adam's throat tightened. "How long?" he asked. "A couple of months," Lane admitted. "I'm sorry, I thought you should know." "Thank you, Lane. Please don't say anything to Harper." Lane nodded sympathetically. "Of course. And document everything. My last employer wished he had." After she left, Adam scanned the receipt and added it to his folder. With growing resolve, he began researching private investigators, phone tracking apps, GPS devices, and divorce attorneys. Each search felt like another step toward an inevitable confrontation. Later that day, Harper sent him a message. "Working late again. Don't wait up." The emoji felt like a cruel joke. He typed a short "okay" in response and closed his laptop. The next afternoon, Evelyn appeared at his office door, still wearing her school uniform. "Mom's not coming to my debate competition, is she?" Adam sighed. "She's working late," he said, the heaviness in his voice unmistakable. Evelyn's face fell. "Whatever, I'm used to it." She hesitated, then added softly, "Dad, are you and Mom getting divorced?" The question struck him like a blow. "Why would you think that?" "Because she's never here. Because you look sad. Because—" Evelyn's voice cracked. "Because I heard her on the phone with someone named Grant. She laughed like she used to with you." Adam crossed the room and hugged her tightly. "I'm not going anywhere," he promised, "no matter what happens." That evening, Adam parked outside Harper's office. Her car wasn't there. Following a hunch, he drove to the Westbrook Hotel. His heart sank when he spotted her silver BMW parked beside a black Range Rover. From the car, Adam watched as Harper exited the building with a tall, impeccably dressed man. They didn't touch, but the way they looked at each other said it all. Adam's grip tightened on the steering wheel. He wanted to confront her, demand answers, but he knew it wasn't the time. He needed irrefutable evidence, proof that couldn't be denied. Adam recognized that expression all too well. It was one he had once been on the receiving end of. The man, who Adam guessed went by Grant, radiated a polished charisma. His impeccably tailored suit, perfectly styled hair, and self-assured stride broadcasted a man accustomed to winning. As Grant climbed into his Range Rover, Harper headed purposefully to her BMW. They departed separately, as though performing in a choreographed routine. Adam trailed Harper at a cautious distance, blending seamlessly into the flow of cars. She remained oblivious to his presence. Why wouldn't she? As far as Harper was concerned, Adam was home, tending to their children, unsuspecting and trusting, exactly where she wanted him. That night, as Harper slept soundly beside him, her breathing even and untroubled, Adam lay awake. The quiet rhythm of her breath gnawed at him. How could she rest so peacefully while their life together disintegrated? Did their 16 years as a couple mean nothing? Didn't their children's happiness matter? His phone vibrated, casting a faint glow across the dark room. A message from Lane appeared. "There's something you need to see." The cryptic words stayed with him until dawn. Long before Harper or the kids stirred, Adam slipped into the home office, Lane's message repeating in his head. Turning on the computer, he was met with an unexpected obstacle, a password prompt. Harper had never locked the device before. His heart sank, but then his eyes fell on a sticky note tucked beneath the keyboard in Lane's handwriting. "She uses Stephen's birthday now. Saw her type it." Adam's hands shook as he entered the date. The screen unlocked, revealing a chaotic desktop cluttered with browser tabs. Most appeared innocent: client emails, legal documents, court filings. But one tab stood out, a Gmail account Adam didn't recognize. When the inbox loaded, his world shifted. Hundreds of emails between Harper and Grant spanned months. Adam clicked on the earliest one, dated shortly after Harper began her nightly gym routine. From Grant: "Great meeting you." To Harper: "Still thinking about our talk at the bar. You're not like the other lawyers I've worked with. There's something different about you. Coffee next week?" Her reply: "Flint, you're trouble. But yes, coffee sounds nice." Adam's stomach turned as he read further. The tone evolved with time, growing personal and intimate. Coffee meetings morphed into lunches, then dinners. Professional pleasantries gave way to confessions, flirtations, and eventually something far more profound. From Grant: "Last night was incredible. Being with you makes me feel alive. I know it's complicated, but I can't deny what I feel. You deserve more." Her response: "I feel the same. When I'm with you, I remember who I used to be, before the suburban routine, before I became just a wife and mom. You make me feel young again, desired, alive." The word trapped stuck in Adam's mind like a barb. Is that how she saw their life together? Their family? He methodically transferred the emails onto a USB drive, his hands steady despite the storm raging in his thoughts. Memories of Harper's late gym nights, moments of comforting their daughter Evelyn, helping Stephen with his homework. All these fragments of their life felt like pieces of a puzzle he had failed to see. A notification startled him, a new email from Grant. Subject: "Birthday plans. Can't wait to see you tonight. Been thinking about your party next month. Maybe it's time? We could tell everyone then. Start fresh. You deserve to be happy, Harper." Her reply: "Soon, I promise. I just need to figure out the logistics. The kids. It's complicated. But you're right. I want to be happy. You make me happy." Adam shut the laptop abruptly, resisting the urge to hurl it across the room. Upstairs, he could hear Harper stirring, preparing for another day of deceit. His phone buzzed again. Casey Wells: "We had a cancellation. Can you come in at 9 a.m.? Adam: "I'll be there." Harper breezed into the office, radiant in a sapphire blue dress that likely cost more than a month of Evelyn's dance lessons. She kissed his cheek as if on autopilot. "Morning. Just need to grab a few files. Don't forget Stephen's soccer practice." "I won't," Adam replied, masking his turmoil with a calm tone. She paused, studying him. "Are you okay? You seem different." Just tired. Big project due. Oh, me too, she said with a breezy laugh. Busy season, right? Actually, I'll be late again tonight. The Anderson account. Adam cut her off, his voice steady. The Anderson account. Don't worry, I've got the kids. You're amazing, she said, her smile oblivious to the tension beneath his calm exterior. Oh, and about my birthday next month. I want to go big this year. A party at the country club. Invite everyone. Adam's smile was razor sharp. Sounds perfect. You deserve it. I knew you'd get it, she said, beaming. Love you. The door closed behind her and Adam's mask fell away. Pulling out his phone, he started drafting a plan. No birthday party. Compile evidence. Create video presentation. Coordinate with attorney. Invite list. Include Grant. Let her believe she controlled the narrative. Let her plan her perfect celebration. Adam had plans of his own. After dropping the kids at school, he drove to Casey Wells' office. The sleek building's modernity contrasted with the warmth of the home Harper seemed so desperate to escape. Casey, sharp-eyed and younger than he expected, greeted him with a firm handshake. What brings you here? She asked. Adam placed the USB drive on her desk. I need to divorce my wife, and I need to do it right. For an hour they reviewed emails, receipts, and photos. Casey took detailed notes, her expression growing graver with each revelation. The good news, she finally said, is you've handled this perfectly so far. Documentation is key. She hesitated. The bad news? This is going to be messy, especially with children involved. I want custody, Adam said firmly. She's made her choice. Casey nodded. Given the evidence, we have a strong case. Timing and strategy are crucial. Adam's lips curled into a grim smile. Her birthday party. She's inviting him. Casey's sharp smile mirrored his. Perfect. Public exposure often works in our favor. Let's make sure everything's ready. Adam leaned forward, his expression sharpening as Casey spoke with unwavering certainty. The video, the emails, the divorce papers, it'll all be ready, she assured him. By the time this is done, she'll know exactly what she's losing. Back in his home office, Adam worked alone, meticulously organizing his ever-expanding file of evidence. A sudden notification broke his focus. Harper's email inbox, which he'd set up to forward her messages to him, revealed a new arrival. The subject line from Grant left no room for misinterpretation. Booked our usual room for tonight. The body read, I can't stop thinking about you and the life we'll share. Soon we won't need to hide anymore. Harper's response solidified Adam's resolve. Soon. Very soon. I promise. Adam closed the email and shifted his focus to the document he was crafting for Harper's birthday celebration. This party would be unforgettable, though not in the way she imagined. He would let her enjoy these last days of preparation, basking in her illusion of control. But her reckoning was inevitable, and Adam would ensure there were no more deceptions. Sunlight filtered into Casey Wells's office as Adam examined the growing collection of evidence displayed on her screen. 3 weeks remained until Harper's birthday, and each passing day brought more proof of her betrayal. These hotel receipts tell quite a story, Casey noted, scrolling through the files. Charges from the Westbrook, dinners, spa visits, all while she was supposedly working late. She clicked to another folder. And these email exchanges with Grant? They're damning. Adam leaned closer, scanning the messages. Grant. Already missing you. Last night was incredible. Harper. You make me feel alive again. Everything else is just going through the motions. Grant. You deserve more than the mundane. We could have an amazing future together. Harper. After my birthday, I just need to handle things carefully with the kids. Handle things carefully? Adam's voice was icy. She means gradually abandoning them, Casey said grimly. This strengthens your custody case. She pulled up another document. Here's a draft custody agreement. Her prioritization of the affair over her children, paired with these messages describing family life as monotonous and suffocating, gives us a strong case for primary custody. What about Grant? Adam asked, his jaw clenched. I want his involvement fully documented. Already underway. Casey opened another folder, revealing surveillance photos. Reed's been tracking their public outings. Look at these. The screen displayed images of Harper and Grant together at upscale restaurants, hotel bars, and coffee shops. Their growing boldness was evident in the lingering touches and intimate moments captured in the photographs. "They're getting sloppy," Casey observed. "Especially Grant. Check his latest social media posts." Adam scrolled through Grant's profile, finding photos of Harper, each one staged to appear casual yet intimate. Captions read, "Power lunch with my favorite attorney," and "Some connections are worth everything." A sharp knock interrupted them. Casey's assistant, Jade, entered, holding a tablet. "Sorry to interrupt, but you need to see this. It was just posted." Casey took the tablet and raised an eyebrow before handing it to Adam. Grant's not bothering with subtlety anymore. On the screen was a photo of Harper at the Westbrook's rooftop bar, sunlight illuminating her laughing face. The caption read, "Counting down to a very special birthday celebration. Some surprises are worth the wait. #new beginnings, #worth the wait." "He's pressuring her," Adam noted, studying the image. "And giving us more ammunition," Casey added. "Save everything, posts, comments, timestamps. We'll need an indisputable digital trail for court." Adam's phone buzzed. Lane's voice on the other end was tight. "Mr. Adam, you need to come home. Evelyn saw the photo. She's upset." In the background, Adam heard the sound of something breaking. "I'll be there immediately." Gathering his files, he turned to Casey. "How soon can the video compilation be finished?" "2 days," she replied. "This new material will make it even stronger. Stay calm with Evelyn. Every interaction matters for custody." 15 minutes later, Adam entered his home office to find Evelyn pacing angrily. Her phone was clenched in one hand, the other gesturing wildly. "Worth waiting for?" she spat, shoving the phone at him. "New beginnings? She's not even hiding it anymore." "Evelyn." "Look at her face, Dad," Evelyn interrupted, tears threatening to spill. "She's so happy in this picture while Stephen cries himself to sleep. And Her voice broke. "I had debate finals yesterday. She promised she'd come. She promised." "What's going on?" Harper's voice came from the doorway. She stood there in an expensive suit, looking out of place in their modest home. Evelyn rounded on her, holding up the phone. "Too busy taking rooftop selfies with Grant?" Harper's face went pale as she saw the image. Her gaze flickered to Adam, who remained silent, observing. "Honey, it's not what you think," Harper began. "Grant is just a colleague." "Stop lying!" Evelyn's voice trembled. "Colleagues don't post romantic photos with hashtags about new beginnings. Colleagues don't meet at hotels. Colleagues don't make you forget your own children." "That's not fair," Harper said, stepping closer. "My career is important." "More important than my debate finals?" Evelyn's laugh was bitter. "More important than Stephen's science fair? More important than Dad? Than us?" "Evelyn, please." Harper reached out for her daughter. "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly," Evelyn said, retreating. "You found someone better, fine, but stop pretending you care about us when you're planning to leave." "I'm not—" Harper's words faltered as her phone buzzed. Grant's name flashed on the screen. The room grew still. "Your better option is calling," Evelyn said coldly. "Don't keep him waiting." Harper's hand trembled as she reached for the phone. "It's work." "No," Adam said quietly, his voice cutting through the tension. "It's a choice. Like always, you're choosing him. At least be honest about it." Harper froze, caught between the buzzing phone and her daughter's tearful gaze. "You don't understand. I'm not just a mother. I have a right to be happy, to feel—" "To feel what?" Evelyn's voice cracked. "Alive? Special? Is this what Grant gives you, Evelyn? A justification for missing Stephen's soccer games? An excuse to avoid my tournaments?" Adam's voice was calm but thick with sorrow. "Evelyn, yesterday I found Stephen sobbing in his room." Evelyn's hands quivered as Adam's words sank in. "Do you know what he told me?" Adam pressed on, his tone sharpening. "He thinks he's the reason you're never around. He wonders if being smarter, better at sports, or more fun would make his mom want to spend time with him." Evelyn flinched as though struck. "That's not true," Harper interjected, but her voice betrayed uncertainty. Lane's voice broke the tense silence from the doorway. "Stephen's home early. His teacher called to say he wasn't feeling well." Almost on cue, Stephen shuffled past, his backpack hanging limply at his side, his gaze fixed on the floor. Spotting Harper, he hesitated, their eyes nearly meeting before he turned away abruptly. "Stephen, sweetheart," Harper called, moving toward him. "Are you okay? Do you need anything?" "I'm fine," Stephen muttered, skirting around her without making eye contact. "Dad's got it. He always does." Evelyn's response was cutting. "He can't keep shouldering everything alone." Harper's phone buzzed, drawing her attention. She glanced at it instinctively, and Adam caught the fleeting smile that danced across her face before she suppressed it. "Go ahead," Adam said quietly. "Answer it. Show them where your priorities truly lie." Harper's jaw tightened. "That's not fair. I'm trying to—" "Trying to what?" Adam interrupted. "Balance an affair with family commitments? Slip in secret rendezvous between soccer practices? Vanish when we're planning birthday celebrations?" Evelyn seized the opportunity to chime in. "Speaking of birthdays," Harper began, her voice terse, "I left work early today to talk about the guest list. I thought we could all—" "Really?" Evelyn's laugh was bitter. "Stephen's sick and you're focused on a party?" "It's an important event," Harper snapped back. "For once, can't you see that I need something for myself? That I can't always sacrifice everything for everyone else?" Evelyn's voice rose, brimming with frustration. "When have you ever put us first? Name one time in the last half year when you chose us over Grant, just one." Harper's composure faltered. "I'm still your mother," she said, her voice strained. From the stairs, Stephen's small voice broke through. "Are you?" All eyes turned to see Stephen halfway up the staircase, clutching his cherished astronaut plush. His voice wavered as he spoke. "Because moms are supposed to care. They're supposed to be there. They're supposed to—" His words dissolved into a sob. "They're supposed to love their kids more than some stranger." Harper started toward him. "Stephen, honey, I do love you. Both of you. This isn't about—" "Don't!" Stephen cut her off, backing away. "Just don't. You'll leave anyway. You always do." His footsteps echoed up the stairs before the door to his room slammed shut. Evelyn shot Harper a glare of pure disdain before following her brother. Harper's phone buzzed again. Adam arched an eyebrow. Grant must be wondering what's taking so long. Wouldn't want to keep him waiting. Harper's grip tightened on her phone. "You're turning them against me," she accused. Adam's response was icy. "No, your choices are doing that. I'm just done covering for you." Harper ran a hand through her immaculately styled hair. "I need space. I need time to think." "Running away again?" Adam's words stopped her in her tracks. "At least you're consistent." Harper spun around, her voice rising. "I'm not running. I just need room to breathe, to figure things out." "Room?" Adam's laugh was cold and hollow. "Is that what you call sneaking off to Westbrook with Grant? Mapping out your future while your son wonders if he's even worth loving?" Harper's voice cracked. "You don't understand. I feel trapped here, in this life of PTA meetings and soccer games and—" She faltered. "Grant sees me. The real me. Not just a wife, a mother, someone who exists only for others." Adam's voice grew quiet, but his words cut deeply. "Our children's love is a cage to you?" "That's not what I meant," Harper whispered. "Yes, it is," Adam replied. "To you, our family is a burden. Our love is suffocating. Our needs are overwhelming. And now Stephen and Evelyn see it too." Harper's face crumpled. "I do love them," she said weakly. Adam's tone was unyielding. "But you love Grant more. You love your escape more. You love yourself more." "That's not fair," Harper murmured. "Life rarely is," Adam said flatly. "At least now we all know where we stand." Harper opened her mouth but found no words. Her phone buzzed again, and her resolve flickered. Turning to the door, she said softly, "I need some air. I'll come back when things have calmed down." Adam's voice followed her. "No, you'll come back when it suits you, like always." She hesitated for a moment, then walked out. Soon the sound of her car engine rumbled in the driveway. Adam's phone vibrated. A message from Casey read, "Got the footage from your office. Every word recorded. This is exactly what we needed." Upstairs, Adam found Stephen and Evelyn in Stephen's room. Evelyn sat on the bed, cradling her sobbing brother, who clung to his astronaut plush, a gift from Harper before Grant entered their lives. Why doesn't she want us anymore? Stephen's voice was muffled against Evelyn's shoulder. Evelyn's reply was fierce. Because she's selfish. Because she cares about herself and Grant and her stupid party. Adam joined them, wrapping his arms around both children. Your mom's choices have nothing to do with you, he said firmly. They're about her, not you. Stephen's voice was barely audible. But if we were better, Adam shook his head. No, you're amazing just the way you are, both of you. Sometimes adults lose sight of what truly matters. They chase things that don't compare to the treasures they already have. Stephen looked up hesitantly. Are you going to leave too? Adam's grip tightened. Never. You're stuck with me, always and forever. No escape. Tears streamed down Evelyn's face as she whispered, Promise? Adam met her gaze, unwavering. Promise. Adam pressed a kiss to the tops of his children's heads, his voice calm and unwavering. We'll get through this. It'll be different, but we'll manage. His phone buzzed. A text from Harper appeared. Staying at a hotel tonight. I need space. Tell the kids I love them. Adam didn't respond. Instead, he messaged Lane. Pizza and movie night in Stephen's room. The science project could wait another day. Next, he drafted an email to Casey. Prepare the custody paperwork before proceeding with the divorce filing. She can't abandon the kids without facing consequences. Casey replied almost immediately. Already in progress. Adam's thoughts hardened. She'll never see this coming, he thought grimly, hugging his children closer. Stephen's breathing steadied as he drifted off to sleep. 2 weeks remained until Harper's birthday celebration. 2 weeks until the facade crumbled for all to see. The following morning, Adam was seated in Casey's office, watching a video compilation. Harper's voice rang out sharply from the speakers, taken from their heated exchange the previous day. I'm suffocating in this suburban nightmare. Casey paused the playback. The jury will eat her alive for that, Casey stated matter-of-factly. But there's more. She clicked to another file revealing a series of photos. Grant was shown entering a jewelry store and leaving with a signature blue box. More images followed, Grant and Harper together, their interactions intimate, his hand often resting on the small box in his pocket. He's planning to propose, Adam said, his tone devoid of emotion. At her birthday party, Casey confirmed, based on his purchases and social media activity. Her smile turned razor-sharp. She has no clue we're both preparing surprises for her big day. Their conversation was interrupted as Jade appeared in the doorway. Mr. Adam, you need to see this. Grant just went live on Instagram. They crowded around the tablet. Grant's voice came through as he filmed a lavish hotel suite. Getting everything perfect for a very special birthday, he said, his tone oozing self-assurance. The screen displayed hashtags like #newchapter and #worthfighting. Unbelievable, Casey muttered. He's practically daring you to react. Let him, Adam said, his voice steely. Let them both believe they're calling the shots. He handed his phone to Casey. Take a look at this. Harper's finalized guest list. The message from Harper read, Everyone important will be there. Family, friends, colleagues. I especially want you to meet Grant officially. You'll see why he's worth it. This party is about fresh starts. The kids will understand in time. She's inviting her lover to flaunt him in front of everyone? Casey asked incredulously. Her nerve is astounding. Adam's phone rang. It was Evelyn. Dad, she began, her voice strained. Stephen's teacher called. He had a breakdown in class. They were talking about family projects, and he just lost it. I'll be there soon, Adam said, grabbing his things. At the school, Adam found Stephen curled up in the counselor's office. Don Parker, the school counselor, met him at the door. He was fine until the family tree assignment, she explained gently. Then Thomas Reed mentioned seeing Stephen's mom with another man at the Westbrook. That's when he broke down. Inside, Stephen clung to his astronaut plushie. His face was blotchy and tear-streaked. Hey, buddy, Adam said softly, sitting beside him. Rough day? Thomas said, Stephen hiccuped, that Mom's getting a new family with Grant. That's why she doesn't want us anymore. Is it true? Is she replacing us? Stephen's voice broke. Adam pulled him into a tight embrace. "Listen to me," he said firmly. "No one could ever replace you or Evelyn. Your mom is making selfish choices, but that's on her, not you." Stephen gripped his plushie tightly. "But the party," he whispered. "She keeps talking about new beginnings and fresh starts." "Her decisions don't change how much I love you," Adam reassured him. "I'll always be here for you. Always." Stephen's voice was small. "You won't leave us? You won't find a new family?" "You and Evelyn are my only family," Adam said, kissing the top of his son's head. "Forever." His phone buzzed with a call from Harper, which he ignored. A voicemail popped up. "Adam, we need to talk about the seating arrangements for the party. I want Grant at the main table. The kids need to start accepting him as part of our lives. Call me back." Anger surged through Adam as he hugged his son tighter. How could she be so oblivious to the harm she was causing? A text from Casey followed. "Grant just reserved the entire top floor of the Westbrook for after the party." Engagement celebration, Adam thought bitterly. "Dad," Stephen murmured. "Can we go home?" "Of course, buddy," Adam said. With an arm around his son, he led him to the car. "Evelyn's waiting with Lane. How about a movie afternoon?" Stephen nodded. When they arrived home, the kitchen was a whirlwind of activity. Evelyn and Lane were busy baking cookies, with trays cooling on the counter. Evelyn greeted Stephen with a hug. "I grabbed your astronaut," she said, "and we're making your favorite double chocolate chip." "With extra chips," Lane added. Stephen managed a small smile. "Want to help?" Evelyn asked, tousling his hair. "Lane's letting me use the fancy mixer." While the kids measured ingredients, Adam pulled Lane aside. "Any updates?" "Mrs. Eaton called several times about the party," Lane whispered. "She wants the family photos moved earlier so Grant can be included. Says it's important to document these new beginnings." Adam's jaw clenched. "Make a record of every call, every request." "Already done," Lane replied, hesitating. "There's more. She came by earlier and took some photo albums and keepsakes. Said she's curating memories for the party display." Adam's expression darkened. "She's rewriting the narrative," he said quietly, "trying to create her perfect version of history." Adam's phone vibrated softly on the kitchen counter. A new message from Casey flashed on the screen. "Final cut's done. Want to check it out?" He typed back, "After the kids are in bed," and turned to Lane with a smile. "How about a movie afternoon in the family room?" he suggested casually. The kids needed the distraction. The evening unfolded with Stephen's favorite documentaries about space lighting up the screen. Freshly baked cookies passed around, and an unspoken agreement to ignore the sound of Harper's car pulling into the driveway, lingering briefly, and then disappearing without her stepping inside. Once the children were finally asleep, Adam opened Casey's file. It was all there, every deception, every selfish choice, every time Harper prioritized Grant over her own family. The evidence was meticulously compiled, leaving no room for doubt. As he closed the video, another buzz came from his phone. Harper's message read, "Staying at Grant's. Too much to do for the party." Adam archived the text into the evidence folder Casey had been building. Just 7 days remained until the birthday celebration. 7 days until Harper's version of the truth unraveled completely. Let her obsess over the details, Adam thought. Let her bask in the illusion of a fresh start. She and Grant might think they're scripting their dream ending, but the finale would be nothing like they imagined. The evening of the party arrived, crisp October air swirling as Adam stood outside the opulent country club. Elegant guests swept past, their laughter and chatter carrying on the breeze. The glow of the grand Georgian facade contrasted sharply with the implosion waiting to unfold within. Casey appeared at his side, poised in a sleek black dress that spoke of business rather than celebration. "Everything's set," she said with calm assurance. "The video is ready. The documents are in the courier's hands, and Greer knows exactly when to act." She glanced at Adam. "And the second set of papers?" He adjusted the silver cufflinks his children had given him for Father's Day. "Scheduled for Grant 3 minutes after Harper's." Casey's lips curved into a razor-sharp smile. "Perfect. Maximum impact." Inside, Harper's vision of perfection was on full display. The ballroom gleamed with crystal chandeliers casting golden light on the cream and gold decor. Floral arrangements adorned every table, and a professional photographer moved unobtrusively through the crowd, capturing moments Harper hoped would symbolize her fresh start. If only she knew what was coming. "Dad!" Evelyn's voice pulled him from his thoughts. Dressed in an elegant emerald gown, she looked uneasy. "Mom's looking for you. She wants us to take family photos." "With Grant?" Adam's jaw tightened. Evelyn's tone dropped. "Stephen's hiding in the coat room. Grant tried giving him a gift earlier, called him sport, and said they should bond as men." Stephen looked like he was going to throw up. Adam rested a hand on her shoulder. "Stay close to Lane. I'll handle Stephen." He found Stephen huddled in the coat room's corner, clutching his well-loved astronaut plush. The boy's tie was crooked, his small body shaking slightly. Adam crouched down beside him, ignoring the expensive fabric of his suit against the floor. "Hey, buddy," he said softly. "Want to tell me what's wrong?" Stephen's voice was barely audible. "He's got a ring box. I saw it in his pocket. He's going to—" Adam pulled his son into a comforting embrace. "Listen to me. Nothing Grant does matters. You know why?" Stephen sniffled, looking up. "Why?" "Because in 43 minutes, everyone in that room will know the truth about your mom and Grant. No more pretending, no more lies." "Promise?" "Promise." Adam straightened his son's tie. "Now let's make sure you look sharp. My wingman can't be rumpled for the big moment." As they stepped out, Harper approached. She was radiant in a designer gown, her smile practiced but brittle. Grant shadowed her, his charm as polished as his bespoke suit. "There you are," Harper said, her tone clipped. "We need family photos before dinner. Grant thinks—" "No," Adam said firmly, his voice like ice. Harper faltered. "But family photos are for family," he continued, positioning himself protectively between Grant and the children. Grant extended a hand with an affected air of civility. "Adam, I realize this is awkward, but for Harper's sake—" Adam's quiet retort stopped him mid-sentence. "Don't. Don't pretend this is about Harper. Don't act like you're making things easier. And don't ever approach my kids again." "How dare you?" Harper's voice was a venomous hiss. "This is my night. You promised to keep the peace." "No," Adam corrected, his tone unwavering. "I promised this night would be unforgettable. And it will be." Turning to the photographer, he said, "Family photos. Real family only." The next 15 minutes were tense. Every attempt to position Grant nearby was met with resistance, particularly from Evelyn, who grew visibly angrier with each suggestion. When the photographer called for one final shot, Evelyn's voice cut through the room like a knife. "If he steps into this photo, I'm walking out." A strained silence followed, Harper's indecision written on her face. "We'll take more later," Grant said smoothly, glancing at his watch. "Dinner's about to begin." As the crowd quieted, Harper's voice filled the room, amplified by the ballroom speakers. She stood poised at the front, champagne flute in hand. Grant remained close by, the outline of the ring box visible in his jacket. "Everyone, may I have your attention?" she began, her tone light and rehearsed. "I'm so grateful you could all join me tonight." At their table, Adam glanced at his watch. The countdown had reached 0. "Just a little longer," he whispered to Stephen. "The truth is about to come out, and then we won't have to pretend anymore." Harper exuded a vibrant confidence, basking in the anticipation of what she was sure would be a triumphant evening. This birthday wasn't merely a milestone. It symbolized a clean slate, a chance to embrace her true self. The hum of conversation in the grand ballroom quieted as Lane's urgent whisper broke the calm. "About Mrs. Wells," Lane began, her voice cutting through the silence like a blade. "Mr. Adam has asked to speak first. He's prepared something special." Harper froze, caught off guard by the unexpected announcement. Her meticulously planned evening suddenly felt shaky. She forced a smile. "Oh," she murmured, attempting to mask her unease. "Darling, you should have mentioned it earlier." Adam rose from his seat with deliberate grace, commanding the room's attention as he moved. His measured tone carried a chilling weight. "Just as you should have mentioned your afternoons at the Westbrook," he said evenly. Harper's champagne glass trembled in her hand. "What are you talking about?" she stammered. "Please sit down." Adam's voice hardened, each word striking like a hammer. "You've had your moment in the spotlight. Now it's my turn." He nodded toward Casey, who pressed a button on a remote. The ballroom's massive screens flickered to life. A montage unfolded on the screens, devastating in its clarity. Harper's own voice rang out. "Grant makes me feel alive again. Everything else is just surviving." The accompanying footage showed Harper and Grant entering hotels, exchanging intimate messages, and meeting in secret. The narration, drawn from Harper's private confessions, only magnified the betrayal. "I'm suffocating in this suburban prison. The kids will understand someday." The audience gasped in shock. Harper's parents, seated prominently at the front, stared in disbelief. Grant, pale and anxious, inched toward the exit, only to be intercepted by Casey's assistant, whose grin was as sharp as a predator's. "Turn it off!" Harper pleaded, her voice cracking. "Adam, please! Please!" Adam's tone was razor sharp. "Please help you bury the truth? Pretend our children aren't crying themselves to sleep? Ignore how you paraded your lover in front of them like they didn't exist?" The footage shifted, showing their son Stephen with tear-streaked cheeks. "Mom promised she'd come to my science fair," he said softly. Then came Evelyn's voice, full of anger. "She's never here! She doesn't care about us!" Harper staggered forward, her voice rising. "These are private family moments! You had no right!" "Private?" Adam's bitter laughter filled the room. "Like your secret lunches with Grant? Your private hotel rendezvous? Or do you mean the posts Grant plastered all over social media? Posts our kids' classmates used to mock them?" The screens now displayed Grant's social media feed, overflowing with incriminating photos and captions. One post, dated mere hours earlier, hinted at an imminent proposal. "I can explain!" Harper's voice was frantic as she turned to the crowd. "It's not what it looks like." "Really?" Evelyn's voice sliced through the chaos, sharp with disdain. "So you weren't planning to leave us? You didn't call us your prison? Tell the truth, Mom. Admit what you've been saying." Stephen's quiet voice followed in the oppressive silence. "Tell them how you forgot my birthday, how you missed Evelyn's debates, how you—" His voice cracked, his pain laid bare. Guests dabbed at their eyes. Harper's mother buried her face in her hands, and her father's expression hardened into stone. "Stephen, sweetheart," Harper implored, stepping toward him, her voice trembling. "I never meant to—" "Don't!" Stephen snapped, retreating. "Don't act like you care now, not when everyone's watching." Casey leaned toward Adam, whispering, "Perfect timing. Greer should be here any second." The ballroom doors opened as if on cue. A courier in a crisp uniform strode in, holding an envelope. "Mrs. Harper Chase," he announced, his voice cutting through the room. Harper turned toward the courier, her expression shifting from confusion to horror as she recognized the official seal on the envelope. "No," she whispered. "Adam, we can fix this. We can talk." "Talk?" Adam's voice was devoid of warmth. "Like you talked to me about Grant? Like you talked to our children about abandoning them?" The courier extended the envelope. "Mrs. Chase, you've been served. Divorce and custody papers." Another courier appeared, addressing Grant. "Mr. Grant Parker, you've also been served. A lawsuit for alienation of affection." Grant's voice finally broke through. "This is insane!" he exclaimed, turning to Harper. "Tell them, darling." But Harper wasn't listening. Her eyes were glued to the custody terms, her hands trembling violently. "Full custody?" she croaked. "You can't take my children. You can't." Adam stepped closer, his voice steely. "Can't? Can't protect them from a mother who sees them as a burden? Can't shield them from the pain you've inflicted? Harper, your own words condemn you. Watch the video again if you need a reminder." Harper's knees buckled. "I never meant to—" she began, but Adam cut her off. "Never meant to what?" His words were relentless. "Never meant to get caught? Or never meant for your children to feel unloved?" Tears streamed down Harper's face. "You don't understand. I was drowning. Every day felt the same, like I was suffocating. The same love, Evelyn interrupted, her voice trembling with anger. The same family that adored you? Sorry we weren't enough, Mom. Grant moved closer to Harper, attempting to steady her. Don't let them twist this, darling. We can explain. Explain what? Adam's quiet question silenced him. Explain how you helped destroy a family? How you plan to propose tonight in front of her children on the ruins of their trust? The crowd gasped as Grant instinctively touched the pocket where the ring lay hidden. That's right, Adam continued, addressing the room. Tonight's grand finale was supposed to be a proposal, a romantic gesture, built on the wreckage of my children's lives. Harper stared at Grant, her expression hollow. You planned this? Tonight? I thought... Grant shifted uncomfortably. It seemed fitting, he muttered. Fitting? Evelyn's bitter laugh echoed. Proposing to our mom at her birthday party in front of us? What's next? Honeymoon photos for Stephen's Instagram? Evelyn, stop! Harper reached for her daughter, desperation in her voice. Please, you have to understand. Understand what? Stephen's voice, small but resolute, carried through the room. That we stopped being important to you? That Grant mattered more than we ever did? No, Harper cried. I love you both. I just needed... She faltered, her words catching in her throat. I needed something for myself. Something exciting. Something... And we... Evelyn cut in bitterly. We're just in your way. Adam's words sliced through the suffocating silence, sharp and unyielding. Tell them the truth, Harper. Our love was stagnant, wasn't it? Mundane, predictable. Tell everyone how family game nights bored you, how school events drained you, and how the devotion of our children felt like shackles around your independence. That's not fair! Harper's voice cracked, quivering with desperation. Grant made me feel alive again. He showed me I could be more than just a mother, more than a wife. Her voice faltered as her mother's quiet sobs cut through the air, tears streaming down her face. More than a wife? Her mother whispered, her voice heavy with grief. Those children adored you, Harper. That man cherished you, and you traded it all for secret rendezvous and fleeting passion? Grant shifted uncomfortably, edging toward the door. Maybe we should leave, Harper, he muttered, his tone uneasy. But Adam's icy glare stopped him in his tracks. Running away, Grant? Isn't that your specialty? Adam's smile was void of warmth. Not tonight. Not this time. Grant puffed up his chest, his voice shaky. You can't keep me here. Adam's reply was calm and deliberate. No, but I can ensure everyone knows who you are. A coward who pursued a married woman, a liar who shattered a family. The man audacious enough to plan a proposal in front of the children whose lives he helped destroy. Harper clung to Grant, her face etched with desperation. Tell them it's not true. Tell them we're in love, that this is real. Grant hesitated, stepping back. Harper, maybe we need some time. Time to cool off and think things through. Her voice cracked with panic. Think what through? What are you saying? Maybe this was a mistake, Grant stammered, sweat beading on his brow. We could have been more discreet. The word hung in the air like poison. Harper's heartbreak twisted into fury. Discreet? That's your concern? Not my children's anguish, not the destruction of my family, but our secrecy? She advanced toward him, forcing him to retreat. Grant pulled at his collar, mumbling, This isn't helping either of us. It's bad for our reputations. Harper's bitter laughter cut through the room. I sacrificed everything for you, my family, my children's trust, and all you care about is your image? Adam's voice interjected, low and piercing. No, Harper, you sacrificed it all for yourself, for a fleeting thrill, for the illusion of passion. How fulfilled do you feel now? Harper's eyes darted around the room, seeking understanding. Instead, she met only gazes heavy with disappointment and judgment. Please, she begged. Someone understand. I didn't mean for this to happen. I didn't want... Didn't want what? Evelyn's voice trembled with barely contained anger. Didn't want us to uncover your lies? Didn't want your children to see how easily you abandoned them? Or didn't want Grant to show his true self? Seizing the moment, Grant bolted for the door. I'll call you, he mumbled before vanishing into the night. Harper stood alone in the opulent ballroom, clutching the divorce papers with trembling hands. Adam's voice was a quiet dagger. How does it feel, Harper? To be left behind? To see someone else prioritize themselves over your emotions? Harper crumpled to her knees, her sobs echoing off the walls. Please, she gasped. Please don't take my children. I'll do anything. Evelyn's tone was icy. Anything? Like you did anything for Stephen's science fair? Or for my debate finals? I'm sorry, Harper wailed, tears streaming down her face. I'm so sorry. Stephen's soft voice pierced through the heavy air. Are you sorry for hurting us? Or sorry because everyone knows? Harper reached for her children, but they stepped back, huddling closer to Adam. Let's go home, Adam said gently, guiding them toward the door. There's nothing left for us here. Harper's desperate cries followed them. Adam, please, we can fix this. I'll change. I swear I'll change. Adam stopped, his expression unyielding. No, you won't. You'll just get better at lying, at hiding. But it won't matter. You've lost your chance, not with my children. They're my children too, Harper sobbed. Not anymore, Adam replied firmly. Not since you chose yourself over them. Not since you decided your fleeting happiness was worth their heartbreak. He glanced at his watch, his tone brisk. You have 30 days to respond to the papers. Get a lawyer. Stephen tugged at his sleeve. Can we get ice cream? Adam's face softened. Of course, buddy. He led his children out, leaving Harper's sobs muffled by the closing ballroom doors. Outside, the crisp autumn air felt rejuvenating. Evelyn slipped her hand into Adam's, while Stephen pressed close on his other side. Are we going to be okay? Stephen asked quietly. Adam looked at his children, resilient despite their pain. Yes, he said with conviction. We'll be more than okay. We have everything we need right here. Together, they walked toward the car, leaving the wreckage of Harper's choices behind. Adam understood that the greatest victory wasn't in revealing the truth. It was in walking away and never looking back. My friend, and this is the end of the story. If you liked this story, then put your royal like and subscribe to the channel. May the force be with you.